Morning world, welcome to August the 1st and my final thoughts on the Massey Ferguson 5S. I really enjoyed this tractor. I'll admit, when I first started, whether I was a little bit biased or I had some thoughts in my head that I just needed to, I presumed stuff. Some of those came true and some of them were completely unfounded. This is a very capable machine. I was regularly doing 44, even touching 45 kph on the road, going backwards and forwards to the farm. There's a lot of stuff about this tractor that I like. I'll go through that first before I tell you the few things that I'm not so keen on. All right, we're at the back, so we'll start here. The pickup hitch mechanism is positive. I like that. If you hear it go click and the handle shoots down, it's locked. There's no ifs or buts, or it might be, it is locked. I didn't have that with the New Holland, even with the T5. It go click, but I still find myself getting out because that pin that shoots back in wasn't always all the way through. So this, I think, is a more positive. I did it once, I got out to check, and actually when I reviewed the video footage of the pickup hitch working, it's a case of, no, if it goes click, it is on, it's done. There is a small downside with the pickup that even once you've worked out how to use it all, and it's a bit of a fiddle faff to actually wake up the hydraulics and then lift the arms, unlock it, drop the arms, push it out. It's okay, a little bit of a fiddle faff, but the view of that hook from the cab, not brilliant. Even with the mirror, which I would probably have to put on the other side, because I look over my right shoulder, not my left, and the downside with putting it on the other side is it's on the handle. So I didn't really use the mirror. I spent most times trying to correct it because I was knocking it with my elbow every time I opened the window. But the pickup hitch is perfectly usable, but if you've got a bad back or a bad neck, you might struggle a bit. So plenty of power on the rear end to pick up stuff. This thing will pick up anything. 3-furrow reversible, 4-furrow, maybe even a 5-furrow plough, non-reversible. This thing will pick up and move about, no problem. Cab suspension. Cab suspension works. Although I will say that on some of the rougher roads that I travel, I don't know if quite what it was doing it, but the motion of the cab in relation to the motion of the front loader, it was a little bit, I won't say seasick, but there was a little bit of like motion sickness or motion poorliness going on there. But that just might be me overthinking stuff, I don't know. So, right, moving to the front loader. Pretty much it's the same as every other loader I've tried so far. It does exactly the same thing, same hitch, good loader. There are plenty of pump power in the tractor, so you can literally use this thing on more or less tick over and it will do everything you want at the speed you want. Visibility for the loader from the front cab, or from the cab, is by far the best. So over everything I've tried, so in case of New Holland have a much blunter nose, this chap, for loader work, out front work, yeah, great visibility. You can see everything. To put implements on and off, really easy. I've been told by a few folks that the downside with that is the smaller sloping radiators. If you're doing a lot of heavy field work and you don't keep the radiators cleaned out, that maybe you can overheat, but that's just stuff that other people have told me. So I couldn't say for sure myself. Front suspension, that all seems a fairly simple setup to me. Nothing too difficult. Can't see any grease points on there, so I'm assuming that they are sealed bearings in that. No maintenance with that, I don't think. Simple. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. The ride, backwards and forwards, apart from the little bit of swaying in the cab which made me feel a bit odd, ride was perfect. No problem with it at all. Quick detach loader, quick detach hydraulics. I'm assuming the battery is in there. I haven't found the battery. I haven't looked very hard, but I'm assuming it's in there. Yeah, everything, service points, your oils, starter motor, jump point if you had to. That's simple enough to get to. Yeah, I think servicing would be fairly simple. And it looks good, don't you reckon? It's just a pretty tractor. It looks good. Right, inside. Cab, seat, everything in here, nice and comfy. Like I said, visibility for the front end loader, fantastic. Everything out front, no problem at all. Most stuff out the back, no problem at all. Apart from that pickup. I mean, I'm having to look down through either that hole there or around the side to see the pickup, and that is with the seat tilted backwards. So, like I say, if you had bad back, you might struggle a little bit. And to operate the pickup, you have to wake up the hydraulics, pressing this fella so the little green light flashes. Then you can pick up the arms to the very top. Then you can pull your knob. Then you can push your arms out. Oh, sorry, then you can drop it down. Then you can push your arms out. Then you can pick up your implement, whatever else. So, so loader locks, they're all there. I didn't use those. I think there is actually, here you are, a couple of USBs in there. Always handy to charge your phone up with. Manual spools, although you've got the third service on here as well, which is electronic. Obviously that is to close up your third service or whatever you've got on the front loader. Gear change, all your ranges are there. It's all quite simple. Literally, to up a gear is that way and to down a gear is that way. You can change your ranges. You've got switches on the back of here. You can use those to change your ranges. On your shuttle, you can also up and down through your gearbox by just nudging this chap. I like that. Forward or reverse. Had a small issue a couple of times with the gear and the loader handles because they're quite similar. I've been driving along looking where I'm going, thinking, oh, I'll go down a gear or up a gear. And I've gone to move this fella and I've actually moved that one. Doesn't have to make you jump when the loader moves instead of the tractor changes gear. If you're not ready for it, just makes you jump. So a couple of the things in here I'm not so keen on. Not a big fan of the steering wheel. I know Phil said that they wanted to make it a bit more car-like. I don't want a car, I want a tractor. And I find these shiny silver bits a little bit distracting. And where they stick out on the top here, they're just... I mean, the steering wheel feels nice, but I'm just not a big fan of that style. I know, it's pernickety and it's picky and whatever else, but it's just me. Door handle. Getting in from outside, nice and smooth. Getting out, that feels really, it feels like a pop rivet gun. So, I don't know, it's just the mechanism. I'm used to something a bit slightly softer than that. Again, pernickety. Only one real storage box in here. You've got a storage thing there and some paperwork bits and bobs in there. But the only real storage box is that fella there. That's a little bit flimsy, I think. But you can put your lunch in there, I suppose. Hopefully it stays cold in there. That's about it. I like the quarter lights. So, again, like I said before, if a dog lets one go, I can open a quarter light and let it out. I think the only real problem I can see with that is possibly you have your house keys or your phone or whatever else that's managed to go down in here, you forget. It's probably going to be a penknife. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be your penknife, your favourite penknife you've had for years. You've just put it over the side there, out of the way so it doesn't fall anywhere. You forget it's there. You open the window and it's gone, potentially. So I thought that opened more than that. Maybe not. So yeah. But other than that, just don't put small things down there, you know. Bigger stuff. The buddy seat. The buddy seat is fine as a buddy seat, but that's kind of all it does. Doesn't do anything else. The case in New Holland have a different sort of folding down back buddy seat that you can fold up as a chair and folds down, and it becomes an armrest, a cup holder, a document holder, a desk, which I think is a better job. I think the cab may be a bit smaller in this than it is in the New Hollander case. The other thing is when you've got the buddy seat up, I won't lock it, it's harder to get to the handbrake, to get on and off. So, and I have, on a couple of occasions, had tractors scream at me saying I haven't let the handbrake off properly. Again, I know you get used to it, not really a problem. So another thing in here that I'm used to in my case is something to hang on to over here with my left hand. If I'm working on a bank, something steep, or if it's bouncy and bumpy, hanging onto the steering wheel is fine, no problem at all. But sometimes it's nice to have something over here to hang on to. Then you've kind of almost got 3 points of contact, your feet, one hand over here, one hand over there. It just gives you something to hang on to. You can hang on to that bar over there, but I have to bend over to reach it, or bend so as to reach it. That might be fine if you're on a bank, you might be doing that anyway. But on the case New Holland, you've got something up here that you can literally hang on to. It's a big black plastic knob on the door mechanism. And I suppose it's because I'm used to that. This hasn't got it. I would adapt. But yeah, I like that. So this area here is probably down to the fact that there's it's a bit smaller, not quite so wide in the cab. It works, does the job as a buddy seat, but not much else. Although I will say it has had the seal of approval from my dog. She does like that seat. Good view from up there. So ventilation is vents at the front and the back, but that's it. All the ventilation in this tractor is up in the roof of the cab. There is nothing down below, so there's no cold air blowing up my shorts, which can be quite nice if it's hot. And I did have to turn these guys round because when I got the tractor first time I put it on, it was blowing straight at the back of my neck. Well, I don't like that. So yeah, ventilation works, keeps the cab nice and cool, but it would be nicer for me, possibly because I'm used to it, to have some more ventilation a bit round my feet. There's nothing down there that I'm aware of. Nothing up there that I'm aware of that will keep me cool. It's just above. So, because on the case, my case, the vents at the front here are fantastic for keeping my drink cold. That's what I use them for. That's my drink bottle goes there, keeps it cold. Sounds wrong because it's in the glass, but it works. So, radio. Radio's okay. The speakers aren't fantastic. I think I would have to change the speakers in this fella. Didn't really use it. I don't use a radio a lot anyway. I used it a bit. Radio 1 was okay, it came through because it was programmed in. Radio 2 was very crackly. I tried to change the station and I was probably doing it wrong, but I could not find a better station on Radio 2, which should be easy to do it. So again, that might just be operator error. Yeah, speakers could be a bit better. I think in the New Holland that I tried, they had all singing or dancing speakers in that thing. So he did say it had some audio package or something. So this is probably just a basic one. You can upgrade that, I'm sure. So general thoughts, feelings, opinion. Could I work with this tractor? Absolutely. Yeah. All the little bits and quirky things that I'm not so keen on, I would get over quite quickly. I'm sure those of you who are Massey Ferguson fans don't even notice them. Took me a little while, a few times, to work out the key doesn't go down there. It actually lives in there. Not used anything on here because A, it's summertime, so I don't need lights. B, I haven't done anything on tillage or on 3-point linkage, so I've not needed anything there. And literally none of these, none of the spools I've used. I've literally used that panel there, these guys here. The auto box on the gears is fine. I will just mention that the auto box works fine. If you're on a long straight road and it's just up and down hills, it's fine. This tractor has been set to start off in middle box, B box. I know that's resettable. I know you can reset this thing to start off in a higher gear, but at the moment it's, so if I stop at a junction, it goes right down too many gears, and it's too many gears to go back up. I know that's programmable. I don't know how to program it, so I didn't. So it's kind of not really a complaint because it's programmable. But yeah, that was a bit of a pain towing, having to go up through so many gears. And even with the auto, even when I press that, it would go right down to like almost bottom gear. And you'd feel the thing going right up through the box. It just takes you a while to get going. Again, programmable. That can be put right. So unfair for me to give it a black mark for that. So gear change is changing down under load. You feel it, but it's just a little nudge. Gear changes up and down, not on load or going down hills, is a bit more than a nudge sometimes. So the dynamic command box in the New Holland was definitely smoother. But I know that's a double clutch system and stuff overlaps, and I don't know can't remember what gearbox he had in this. Perfectly usable, does everything, and 10 times better than what I've got in my case. And something if I got used to, if I bought this tractor, I would definitely get used to, because you just alter your driving a little bit. So I can't blame the tractor for everything. I just have to retrain me to drive the different tractor. Okay, so yeah, so generally I would give this thing sort of like a 7.5 out of 10. Quite a high score. Ideal size tractor for what I'm looking for. 145 horsepower. That's fixed. There's no boost on this. It's 145 all day. The loader was fantastic. Plenty of power flow and power on the pump, so I could literally load bales and everything more or less. I was more or less on tick over. Very relaxing. A nice workspace. The cam suspension and the front suspension on the last trip back was a bit like boat, but that could be the way I had the trailer loaded last time. I had a lot of weight at the front of the trailer, not very much at the back behind the axles. That might be the trailer. It could be down to tire pressures. I don't know what the tire pressures are in this. So again, there's a few things that I didn't really like very much, but they can probably be altered or reprogrammed or repressurized to suit me. But generally, really nice tractor. I like it a lot. I like the color. I like the sound. The engine sounds sweet. It's progressive. It's keen. It pulls like a train. Yeah, really nice tractor. Would I buy one? Bit too soon to tell yet. Yeah, I would. But would I buy this one over another one? Can I afford it? Well, we'll see. We'll see what Phil brings back on the paperwork. Right, okay, so hopefully that's given you an insight into my thoughts on this tractor. Generally, really nice machine. Liked it. Would suit the farm. Would do everything I want. A few little things, I'd change if I could, but if I can't, I would learn to live with them. And maybe even learn to love them. So, there you go. That's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.